Another small victory for freedom and common sense as Sadiq Khan has lost a court case over the issue of the ULEZ expansion. Oh, it has not been an easy few days for the Mayor of London, the dictator wannabe. Not only his ULEZ expansion is going to be launching tomorrow, but they're not ready. Why? Because 90% of his new cameras, the ULEZ cameras in the expansion zone in South London, are not working. They're either broken or have been removed by the Blade Runners and the protesters. But there is a new problem for Sadiq Khan. Because do you remember a few days ago we talked about a loophole that lawyers have been talking about, which was actually initially about the fact that you have to make sure that you give out enough heads up and advance warning before people enter congestion zones or ULEZ zones or any sort of clean air zone. And the fact that we got, I believe now 5 or 6 local councils in the Greater London area who are basically not really cooperating with the Office of Sadiq Khan. They're not going to put up the signs. But now we've got a perfect example of how this works, not just in terms of the availability of the signs, but even if the sign exists, you can still appeal and win. And that's what's happened. Scaffolder Noel Wilcox has now won a court case after receiving £11,500 in fines when it came to ULEZ. How did he do it? Well, look at the sign right behind him. It says, Transfer for London, Low Emission Zone. Now, he won because that sign is vague. It doesn't actually give you the warning that you're going to get charged. Now, we're actually going to try and get him to come on the channel in a couple of days, hopefully tomorrow, to talk about his experience. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel to watch that. But as we said, these signs have been so vague. So even if those councils who have been rebelling and refusing to put up the signs, even if they do, all the money that's been spent to make these signs across Greater London, they're completely redundant. Because the loophole, the legal loophole, is that you don't actually have to pay the fine. So, do you remember Nick Freeman, the lawyer that we talked about the other day? He also came out to say, just saying that you are in a zone by itself is meaningless. They need to tell you that not just where you are, but what happens. In other words, a charge could be incurred. Because that hasn't happened, their signs are neither used nor ornament. Now, an ornament. Now, it's also said that they are not fit for purpose. We know that, and might as well not be there. So, this is the perfect loophole. And the fact that tomorrow the ULEZ expansion happens, not only he doesn't have enough cameras to detect your movements, but his existing signs are not going to work. So everybody needs to watch this video, share this with everyone. So if somehow you have to travel towards Greater London tomorrow, for now, you can avoid paying the fine. Now, there's also a lot of campaigns, not just the Blade Runners going around taking the cameras, but there's also a lot of campaigns saying if everybody basically refuses to pay, then that's the best way. That's what happened in Birmingham. Was it Birmingham? I believe it was Birmingham, with the clean air zones. They had to eventually just completely cancel all the fines because no one paid. So that's what happened there. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how this is affecting the cost. This is Marcus Thompson, who's an IT consultant. He will have to pay £87.50 a week just to go to work and ferry his 2 daughters around. Marcus, who is 51 from Cockfosters, uses his 2014 diesel E-Class Mercedes 5 days a week to see clients. And he said, well, I can't really just change my car because, firstly, for obvious reasons, there's also a lot of cost to it. But this is his car to see the clients. It has to be a nice car anyway. And it's his choice. I don't care what sort of car you have. It's his choice. Now, retired policeman Roger Whipp will have to pay £12.50 a day every time he and his wife Margaret want to drive to the supermarket just to go shopping. Roger, who's 75 from Romford in Essex, splashed out on a new Hyundai State 9 years ago. And he says he doesn't have enough money anymore to go and buy a new car. Again, it's his choice if he wants to have that car. But because of where he lives, every time he wants to go to the shop, which is every day, he has to pay £12.50. Now, that's in addition to the fuel, the petrol costs and the parking and everything else. This is insanity. Absolute insanity. Anyway, as I said, make sure to share this with everybody. People need to know how to fight back against Net Zero and ULEZ and Sadiq Khan. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.